All right, this is 6.2, part 2. We got a couple more examples we're going to try. Notice on these that leading coefficient this time is not a 1, but we have to kind of go back to that old way that we know that very first thing you should always look to do is pull out the greatest common factor, and that's what I can do here. I can pull a 2 out of this. So when I pull a 2 out, I'll have x squared minus 6x plus 8. And then I treat this trinomial the same way I did these previous ones. And this 2, I just kind of keep bringing down and leaving out in front. So factors of x squared are going to have to be x and x. And then I have my factors of 8, and I can go with 8 and 1 or 2 and 4. Remember that this plus sign means my signs will be the same, and I'm going to want them to add up to this number. So 2 and 4 is probably going to be a better choice here. So I'll put my 2 and 4. It doesn't really matter where I put that 2 and 4. Remember that it's a plus sign. Signs are the same. Both going to be minuses. So when I do my outer and my inner, I'll get a negative 4x and I'll get a negative 2x, which would combine to a negative 6x. And then the 2 just stays out in front there. We've got it. Okay, let's try one more like that. This is about as messed up as you're going to see it. We're going to have to pull out a GCF, plus I've got 2 variables going on. Now when I pull out my GCF, I can't pull out any variable parts because this first term does not have a y, and the second term, or the last term, does not have an x. So there's variable-wise, I can't pull anything out. I'm just going to pull the 2 out. Then I'll have my x squared minus 4xy minus 12y squared. All right, so then you leave the 2 out there, set up your 2 parentheses. I have an x and an x, and then I'm going to have factors of 12. The signs are going to have to be different. One's positive, one's negative. So when I go through my list, like 6 and 2, or 1 and 12, or 3 and 4, I want them, since those signs are going to be different, I want them to have a difference of this middle term, a difference of 4. So 6 and 2 will be my better choice. So I'll put in my 6 and 2. Again, it doesn't matter where that 6 and 2 go. Then put your y and your y in there, so you end up with your y squared. Your signs are going to need to be different. If you look at your outer, that's a 6xy, and your inner is a 2xy. And since I want to end up with a negative 4xy, I'm going to want my 6 term to be negative, my 2 term to be positive. And that would give me a negative 4xy. So for this negative 6, it has to go there. For this positive 2, I've got to put the plus on the 2. Okay. And this is how these work as long as you have that leading coefficient of 1. As soon as we start throwing some numbers there, then it becomes definitely more of a game of trial and error, where you'll end up, trying something, erase it, try something else. You come up with it. Hopefully this will help, though, with that leading coefficient of 1.